What I just showed you was a rare clip of me in the 60s. I know I look young for my age, but that's because I did preventative Botox when I was 20. Alright, no, but really, here's a picture, like a real picture of me during my peak Beatlemania era.
Bruh.
And yeah. Hi, I'm Duda, a graphic designer who likes to talk about graphic design, but also pop culture and music and random stuff. So welcome back to my channel. Okay, let's talk about how this buffoonery right here is the reason I am who I am today. And it's basically the reason I am a graphic designer. Most importantly, Paul McCartney. I kind of have been wanting to record this video for so long, but I was waiting until past his concert. I attended his concert for the fourth time last month, and let me tell you, it was emotional in a really personal way this time. I was thinking about that, how it wasn't just 13-year-old me fangirling anymore. I cried a lot, and it was kind of like, not only because, you know, my ultimate idol was in front of me. Yes, like I was, oh my God, like Paul McCartney is in front of me, but I was also like just reflecting on my life. Also, I designed my own merch to go see him. How Brazilians love Paul McCartney, which it's true. I love thinking about how I am just a collection of things. I am who I am because of the things I like. So today I just want to sit down and talk about that. Talk about our early references can influence who we are as artists and designers and just people in general. And in a way, it's so impactful that it can literally change our lives. Fangirl culture can change your life. Plus, I just want to talk about my journey up until this moment. And this whole thing is part of my journey. And it's going to explain a little bit of my early stages of being a creative person. So here's the deal. I'm not into parasocial relationships so much because I'm an adult and no longer a 13-year-old. As you grow older, you just realize it's normal to understand that these people are actually human beings that also need boundaries. However, I will forever deeply love and respect those artists, and I just basically grew up and found a better and healthier way to deal with all the love. Shout out to growing up. And the artist I love the most, period, that's like out of discussion, is Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney with a low taper fade. Nowadays, even more because of what he represents to me. I mean, I've made friends because of this man who have now kids and husbands and are living abroad and are doing stuff with their, like, it's crazy. I've traveled places. I learned the value of community. I was part of something during my teen years. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I'm really proud of it. Long live fangirls, the backbone of this industry. There is something in my life which I call the Beatles domino effect. Bear with me. When I was around 12, I developed this intense obsession with Beatles, most specifically with Paul McCartney. In my 12-year-old defense, that is pretty normal, actually. It is pretty average for a 12-year-old. I was 12 and the Beatles is still the biggest selling act of all time. I was definitely not the only kid obsessed with Paul McCartney. I'm still not. Like in the line, I saw 11-year-olds there. I know for sure that is not a unique experience. The Beatles are for the youth, and they'll always be for the youth. In 1964, the New York Times described Beatlemania as a religion of teenage culture. And there was I, entering my teenage years, feeling just like a 13-year-old would in 1964, which is pretty cool. Also, Paul McCartney specifically is huge amongst kids for some reason. In 2013, Paul McCartney toured in Brazil, and I saw him for the first time. I vividly remember being in my father's apartment one day, and he was making me some dinner, and he was listening to music on his old 2010 Vaio laptop, and we were just there talking, vibing. It's like a core memory to me. I so remember this because I was really like in my Beatles era, and we had tickets to see Paul McCartney, but I was like in my Beatles era, not in my Paul McCartney era, you know? And yeah, he said to me, Duda, you really want to be someone's fan, you gotta know their stuff. Like you gotta really dig deep into their art and know their stuff. And then he played me on that old 2010 Vaio laptop, Uncle Albert, this is a hard thing to say. Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey, which is like an absolute fan favorite, especially if you like Ram. I heard that song and That was the moment that it changed my life forever. Maybe that's why I remember so vividly, but I have a strong consideration to that moment. You know, I think about it too often. It's a really beautiful moment. That song is one of the most beautiful songs in history. That album, the entirety of that album, it's crazy. I saw this guy on YouTube. Actually, he's really famous. I can't remember his name, but that guy who said that Ram was the first indie album ever. That is for real. And like Paul McCartney is the first indie boy ever. If Paul McCartney was like young today, if he was 24, 26, 30 today, he would love mango ice vapes. He would love wearing beanies. He would love hand poke, patchwork tattoos. He would have a tote bag collection. He would have a movie subscription. He would love gaslighting. He would eat that shit up. So yeah, I saw him in 2013. That was just the beginning. I proceeded to see him again in 2014, which I got barricade. No one suffered more than a 14-year-old girl trying to get barricade at a Paul McCartney's concert. Fun fact, I appeared on national television because of that concert. Embarrassing. And then Leslie saw him again when I was 17 in 2017. Shout out to my girl Bella. She's one of the friends I made because of him. Love you, girl. Well, actually not Leslie, because I saw him again just last month in São Paulo. Bitches are like, Pookie, my Pookie, and it's an 82-year-old man. It's me. I am bitches. He's my cinnamon roll. He is for real. He's my small bean. Just like any kid who grew up in the 2000s, I had borderline unsupervised access to the internet, which, oh no, my lord, paper fade Paul McCartney, which is not good at all. Kind of like low-key traumatized me. Let's take a break. I was on internet, and being a Beatles fan led me into, Beatles forums, Beatles Twitter, very toxic place, by the way. Beatles Tumblr, not as toxic, still toxic. I would say medium level toxicity. Beatles Last FM, Beatles Pinterest, Beatles We Heart, Beatles everything, everywhere, all the time Beatles. Now, back before we had Instagram to worry about how we appear on social media or how we present our feed aesthetically, we had Tumblr to worry about. And also Twitter. We would decorate our Twitters like it was a living room. I refuse to call it X, by the way, as I am a vintage retro 70s rockstar girlfriend. If you think that the need of having a well-curated, visually, aesthetically pleasing feed is a new thing, well, it is not. We always felt the need to decorate our virtual space. That's why we can upload profile pictures and headers, customize colors, and do all of this shit just so we can have a personalized experience on the internet. So 12-year-old me spent hours decorating my Tumblr page just because of the Beatles. I even remember learning basic coding so I could customize my cursor and put a playlist that would automatically play when you went into my Tumblr. I am, to this day, traumatized by this song. I got so traumatized, I forgot. No, it was Tell Me Why. Can't listen to the song. Tell me why. Back in the days, for kids who are a little bit too young, we used to have Tumblr pages who were dedicated to Twitter icons and headers. So basically, someone would edit your favorite artist's pictures and resize them and crop them and post them on Tumblr, so you could take it and use it as your Twitter profile page or your Twitter banner.
Update. People still do that. And now I look like a fucking moron. I guess it's either less common now or I'm just getting old. I don't know.
Twitter used to have the images preview. I'm probably gonna find a picture and illustrate. And we used to decorate that as well. We would crop a picture into 6 little squares and we would post them in a row like a second banner. We weren't posting images or videos because it would mess up our grid. I don't know why we were doing that. We just were. But for some reason I thought it was amazing. The Tumblr pages with the icons, the edited icons. I thought it was really cool and I wanted to do that. So I downloaded Photoscape, which was a really, really, really awful photo editing software. But I thought it was the coolest thing at the time. And it was free, so that was a huge thing. I was 12 years old. I was not about to pay for Photoshop at the time. Not at all. Maybe it wasn't awful, it was just limited. For the time, I think it was decent. And because of that, because it was limited, I suddenly felt that Photoscape wasn't enough for me anymore for what I wanted to do. So that's how and why I got Photoshop. Never ever have I downloaded a virus while trying to crack Photoshop with a Portuguese translation in 2012. Never. I swear. That never happened. Suddenly, I was using PSD actions on my massive Beatles photo collection, messing around with basic elements, and even, hear me out, even colorizing black and white Beatles picture. That was probably the first time I felt like a Photoshop wizard. I was like, I actually know how to use Photoshop. 12-year-old me like,
I know Photoshop.
I know what you're talking about, actually. Then something inside of me shifted. Like, I'm not even kidding. I loved doing that. I had so much fun editing all of those Beatles pictures. Like, I absolutely had a blast. I couldn't wait to go home from school because I would turn on my computer and start editing Paul McCartney's pictures on Photoshop for no reason. But that was it. It was nothing more than a silly activity a weird kid truly enjoyed. I don't want to bore you with my life story, but that's actually not how I realized I wanted to be a graphic designer. I wish that was the case. That would be a really cool story, but it's not. I actually wanted to be an actress, and I spent most of my kid and teenage years still wanting to be an actress. I used to do theater, and that was my thing, but then I realized maybe I can't handle the competition, and I truly couldn't. I quit theater, then fast forward to 2017, when it was my last year of high school, and I had to figure out what I wanted to do, so I made the obvious decision. I then started an environmental engineering school. Basically, I thought I could make money with that, and I loved the environmental part. I really did, but I hated the engineering part, which is a crucial part of environmental engineering. So I dropped out, and I was like, yep, that's not what I want to do. Meanwhile, I never stopped messing around with Photoshop and amateur illustration. I never stopped loving pop culture and entertainment and music. So I used to think to myself, why not rescue that inside of me? You know, it's something I love, and I think it's cool, and I think I would have fun doing it. What happened to that nerdy teenager who knew how to appreciate different forms of art? Why don't I listen to her anymore? What's wrong with giving her a chance? I know she was a kid, but maybe she's right. In 2020, 2 weeks before the pandemic hits, I started my graphic design degree, and I finished in 2022 after graduating remotely. I always question myself, who and where would I be if I wasn't an awkward Beatlemaniac loser when I was a teenager? Like, where would my life be if that never happened to me? I love music. I don't play any instruments. I don't know music. I don't sing. But I found in design a way to connect with music on a deeper level. It's my way to use my creativity in the music world without being, you know, a musician, which I'm not. Let's remember that visuals changed music forever. And music is not just music anymore. Music is also an iconic artwork or a really well-directed music video, a breathtaking tour poster design, a cool merch, and all of those things that make an artist instantly recognizable. I remember still being in college and watching a hilarity video about some merch design or something. And then I thought to myself, that's a thing? You can just design stuff for artists, like in a way that I know that existed, I know that's a thing, but in a way that you can make a living off of that. No one told me that. And I just thought that was so cool, and it literally gave me a boost of motivation. And I was like, okay, I want to do this, which I still don't. It's not like designing merch is my full-time job. It's actually not my job at all. It's just a way to express my passion of music through a form of art, design. And it's basically how I practice design, by designing stuff for artists I love. Period. Simple as that. It's what got me good at design, so it is important. It is a huge part of my work and a huge part of me. And it's a beautiful thing to think about how the countless stuff I demonstrated interest as a kid impacted me in different areas of my life, and I just had no idea. That's why I get emotional with songs and I cry when I go to concerts, not because I love that person so much that it hurts. Like, at the end of the day, he doesn't even know me, but because that is an extension of me. Their art is present through different periods of my life, and then I start to remember about everything that has happened to me that led me to here. I love their art so much it hurts. I'm making this video because I'm obviously not the only one who feels this way, so, you know, maybe, just maybe, you are or were once also a 13-year-old kid who loved pop culture and arts, and maybe now you also look back to your past, to your teenage years, to your childhood, and have a very fond memory of it, thinking about, well, that really impacted me, and I am who I am because of that, because of those years. So I think that's a really beautiful thing to think about. That, and also, I just saw him. Come on, I'm in my Paul McCartney era again. I'm like, pookie, baby girl. He's baby girl. He's baby girl for real. By the way, Ticketmaster, if you want to sponsor me and give me a ticket to the Madrid concert, like I will compromise myself to free promo for the rest of my life, even if one day I become like a 1 million follower YouTuber. If you don't like that proposal, I am also willing to sell my soul. Think about that. But yeah, that's why I designed this t-shirt to see him all cute and pretty. Because like facts, hot Brazilians love Paul McCartney. If you relate to me in any level, please leave a comment. I would love to know more about that. And also seek therapy immediately. If you do not hit the like button and you do not subscribe to my channel, you will be disappointing not only me, but also this man right here. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love, y'all. See you in the next video. Bye.
You were only waiting for this moment to be free. You were only waiting for this moment